There you go.
Welcome to the Don't Say Cant podcast. I'm your hostess, Stephanie Carlson.
The hostess with the postest.
Yeah. I still hear the stuff in my headphones. There we go.
It's only in your headphones. It's not playing through the audio track.
It's very interesting that it was just in my headphones. It just threw me off a little bit.
I think it's because you're headphone one. So.
Anyway, a little inside podcast baseball. That's even a thing. Inside podcast baseball. Anyway. We're joined today with Matt Carlson, continuing our conversation about your career path and your professional experiences, leadership, management versus bosses.
Yep.
But you've done other things. You've tried to start businesses, and I wouldn't say that they failed. They just maybe didn't get the attention that they needed in order to succeed, maybe.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Just being honest. I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, usually when I start a business, or when I make an attempt, I should say, to start a business, it's in line with, I see a problem within the industry.
Sure.
Either it's overpriced or just not right.
Like, you could do it better?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll go down those kind of rabbit holes and say fuck it and start my own shit. And
yeah,
I've tried a couple times. I mean, I was to the point where I had some people that wanted to be investors into one of my ventures.
Sure.
But I didn't know anything about that. And I thought, and just because you're an investor means that you take control of the company. And then I was like, well, then people are telling me what I'm doing when it's my company. And, you know, I want to keep the morals to the right direction. And
right.
It's not going to work for yourself. For me anyways, it's just about morals. Just doing the right thing.
Just doing the right thing. Okay. So you think... So you're thinking that I'm trying to wrap my brain around what you're saying.
And working for myself.
Right.
And let me put this little disclosure in there.
Right.
Up until this company, I would not look into long term with any of them because of the management, because of who was above me. Right.
Right.
So I wanted to work for myself.
Right.
Because I didn't agree with how things were being done. That being said, with my current state and current employer, I'm very happy.
Right.
I think there's definitely changes that could be done, but I think that those changes are actually things that are probably being addressed. You know, it's just above my pay grade.
Sure.
Because, and I say that because I think that if you were to look at us like an onion, we all taste like onion, but there's different layers, right? Mm-hmm. So that the taste of an onion analogy means we all think the exact same or similar. Right. We're in the same direction. We have the same mission and vision, kind of goal oriented. But the levels, you know, I'm not a part of that hierarchy. So I may not know it, but I have belief that the right things are being done. I have full faith in my team.
Sure.
My upper management, I mean.
Sure. I think we got off on a slightly different subject because we were talking about your businesses.
Right. But I was saying going to work for myself was because I seen things being done incorrectly. And I don't feel that way with my current employer. So if they were to ever hear this, I want them to know.
Oh, gotcha.
Full disclosure.
Understood.
Like I like what I'm doing. I'm not changing anything. I was putting that out there.
Okay, so there was a disclaimer. Okay,
disclaimer.
Gotcha.
Disclosure, disclaimer, yeah, same fucking thing.
I understood. Yes, I wasn't quite sure where you were going. My bad. I'm glad we came full circle on that.
Yep. Just took 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's all good. We're good. So I guess an example of that would be your mobile mechanic business or mobile tech.
Mobile brake service.
Mobile brake service.
Mobile brake service, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you went down that path, and I think you just, what made you decide not to go further?
I didn't have the clientele.
Yeah. Sure.
I didn't know how to get my name out there. I mean, it was just that simple.
Right.
I didn't know what I know now with social media and marketing, things like that. It was before I dove into that aspect. It was before I got into photography and video production. Right. I was a mechanic essentially that just wanted to do the right thing, but didn't know how to exploit the social media space.
Sure. So I've seen, you don't see a whole lot of those mobile technician type businesses. I've seen a few. Right. I've seen a few, and we're not talking like a tow truck company that will come and put a spare tire on. This is someone.
Yeah, it's not AAA.
Yeah, instead of going to a Les Schwab or to some sort of brake service company or organization.
Can't say names.
Oh, sorry. We said Jiffy Lube last time. We talked about others.
We did. I forgot. Yeah. No. I don't know why I just instantly thought of branding. And I was like, oh shit, we can't say that. But never mind. Yeah. Fuck me.
Well, Les Schwab does provide brake service.
Right.
And that also is one of your former employers.
It's true. It's who taught me how to do brakes.
Yeah.
Which, by the way.
What?
Okay, never mind. It'll be flagged for slander.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I have things to say, and if it would be flagged for slander, there's a reason why I went into brake service for myself.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's okay.
That's perfectly okay. I mean, just saying. I can't.
Yeah. You felt like you have something to offer your customers.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You had something that you could offer, a service that you could offer your customers.
Matter of fact, I think I just heard that.
That's okay.
I might still be on Yelp with that old company, and I'll actually read one of the reviews
from Yelp.
I
don't know. Yeah. To just prove your point.
Of doing right by your customer.
Sure. Yeah, I think there's always going to be that skill set that you learn from another employer, and if you feel like you're confident enough in your skill set and what you have learned, you can definitely take that into your own avenue and create your own space with that experience and that skill set. Don't forget where you came from, of course, and how you learned that information, but there's definitely something to be said about creating a business where you feel like you could do something better than who taught you.
Found it. All right. So this is back when I was doing my mobile brake service.
How long ago was this? A few years?
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yep. So 5-star review.
Okay.
It says, Matt came to my house to service my brakes and showed up 15 minutes early. He is very honest with fair pricing. He even told me he quoted me a little too much, and I ended up paying less than I thought. Cash or credit, fast service. This business rocks.
Right on.
So that was just I mean, like I said, I didn't know what I was doing, but Yelp was like, it was a pushed thing in the industry to give us a Yelp review.
Right.
So of course, like that was what I did. I made a Yelp page versus like Instagram or Facebook and stuff like that. But I don't do that anymore. So, and you can't actually search the company. I actually had to go to the person who left that review. I know who it was. Which I don't talk to that person anymore.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, nothing bad. No hard feelings. They're great people. Just lost contact. That's all.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. So that business do you think you could have done with the knowledge of social media that you have now and quote unquote exploiting it for what it is? Do you think you can, you could go out there and rock it, right?
All day long.
Right.
Right.
You'd probably have more business than you knew what to do with.
I would probably be able to subcontract at least 2 drivers.
Nice. That's awesome.
I feel like I could generate that much business. But how we dove into our social media presence,
yeah,
and production value, you have to do that with that line of that particular industry. So
right.
we have to buy service trucks. We have to equip those service trucks with tools because everything has to be done by us.
Yes.
I've got a $2,000 tool chest that's sitting in our front room right now that I'm still paying on that I bought over a year ago.
Yes.
That has no tools in it.
Well, there's tools.
There's some.
There are tools.
It's not it's not completely stocked.
Sure. No. You don't have everything that you need in there.
Right. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of upfront cost to
starting that particular business.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just really expensive to get into.
Right.
Because I don't believe in small business loans. I hate those. I firmly follow a couple of influencers that have built their industries and their empires from the ground up, and they own everything. So we do our best to follow in those footsteps.
Right. It's harder to. You mentioned this, I think, in the previous podcast where there are investors, or there can be investors, and they don't necessarily have to have a say in the company and how it's organized or operated.
Right. Actually, this was the company that I had people wanting to invest in.
Sure. I could see wanting to invest in something like that. I could see the value of and worth of that type of company.
This family is well set, and I essentially did brake services for almost every for a vehicle in their family, and it went through 3 or 4 different families.
Nice. That's awesome.
And so each of them really was happy with the service, and they saw the value in it, because time is money.
It is.
Not everybody has time to drop their vehicle off at Les Schwab, have somebody come with them. They got to get a ride back and things like that. Everybody has time at home. How long is your car sitting outside your house?
Right.
If we can minimize it, if we can do as much work as possible at your house with minimal noise, why not?
Exactly.
But it's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard work. It is very hard work. There are going to be a couple of times where it's going to be noisy, but if you think outside the box, you don't necessarily have to be as conventional as the industry has made it, and you can use new tools and techniques, which will make your job quieter and easier. But you have to do your research.
Absolutely. And market yourself. Yes.
Know your brand.
Yes. Definitely. So there's lots of different things that we've talked about, leadership and management and all these fun situations that we find ourselves in as we bounce around in our career paths. I find it fascinating and almost annoying at your ability to gain employment. You've had varying different jobs, lots of different experience, sort of a Renaissance man, if you will, just kind of know quite a bit about lots of different businesses. But not everybody can just walk into an interview and have the confidence that you do. And forgive me, it could be false confidence, but it seems like you can gain employment very well, very easily. It comes naturally to you.
I wouldn't say it comes easily. Keep talking. I'm bringing up a quote.
Sure.
That will play into the question that you're asking me.
Sure. But basically, I want to know how do you do that? How did you gain that skill set, that ability to gain employment like you do? Because I've never had to worry about you not having a job. You know, there might have been times where you were in between jobs, but you were always trying to do something that would bring income into the household.
Sorry, I completely missed that because I was making sure this is the right quote.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So how do you do that? Where does that come from?
Can you re-ask that question? I didn't hear you.
Your ability to apply and gain employment.
Oh, that's all
How?
we're talking about still.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, one of those things is you have to be humble, right? You have to be willing. Try to get this thing turned around here. So you have to be willing to do any job.
Yeah.
Clean the toilets, right? Wash windows, sweep floors, take out trash.
Right.
Become the master at doing the shit jobs that no one wants to do.
Sure.
Those shit jobs are extremely important. Tell me you don't have peace of mind when you go to the bathroom and it's clean. It's super clean and it smells good.
It's nice to sit on a clean toilet in a clean
it's
lavatory,
like when you're
water closet.
You're going to a gas station and there's a clean bathroom, you probably think that you'll have a new perspective on that gas station.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, definitely.
That's the best analogy for that, right?
Right.
So it doesn't matter what you're applying for. Be the best at it. So getting to it, you have to be humble. There's no job too big for you to do. Mm-hmm. And reason why I'm able to literally take on any job that I want, and the important thing there is want, is because I don't believe I can't be who they're looking for. Mm-hmm. There was a quote, and it's kind of funny because I couldn't remember where it's from, but I remember it.
What is it?
And it made sense. So it's actually from the A-Team.
Oh. Which version of the A-Team? Or was it in both movies?
I don't know. I haven't seen the old one. I'm just saying.
Sure.
So I only know the new one.
So the new one with Liam Neeson.
Yes. So when he's playing
Bradley Cooper.
When he's playing Hannibal, he says, "Give me a minute, I'm good. Give me an hour, I'm great. Give me 6 months, I'm unbelievable."
I love that.
So if you just break that down.
Yeah.
Do your research. The more research you do on anything over an extended amount of time, the better you're going to be at that task.
It's true.
We don't have to make this more complicated than it is. If I want to go apply at McDonald's, I'm going to learn about whatever it is that McDonald's needs me to know about. I'm going to immerse myself in what it is they need. Mm-hmm. Fill the void.
I like that.
It's really that simple.
That could apply to not only to gaining employment, but also recognizing and providing solutions.
Problem solving, leadership,
right?
Management.
Researching the voids. You recognize that there's something that's not being done in the organization, or you recognize that there could be some improvement. And then researching, how do I go about solving this problem? Because not everybody knows. We don't all know.
A great example is current employer.
Yes.
We love acronyms.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I do. Anytime we have a new debriefing on a task, usually there's a ton of acronyms thrown around. And I do my best to ask the questions on what these acronyms mean. And fortunately, it's only taken like 2 meetings, and then every time now we have a discussion and there's an acronym mentioned.
Yeah.
Just because I'm the only one in the room unfamiliar to this vocabulary, they literally make sure they look at me and they explain to me or break down what it is and what it means. So that's leadership. That's fucking leadership, because And they didn't exclude me, even though I was the 1 out of 9 or 1 out of 10.
Right.
They made me the 10. You know, that's just show back to, good leadership. So, I totally understand what you're saying with that and
right.
what we were speaking on. I remember that I was trying to connect the dots for that.
Yeah.
Get lost in my thoughts.
That's all right. What you mentioned too, that going into that and explaining and understanding, but you are not opposed to, and what you will do, and what I've seen you and witnessed you do is you'll look up these acronyms. I mean, and even recently, what the heck does that mean? How copy? That's what it was.
Oh yeah, and I didn't even know. I didn't know the actual definition. But,
right.
But I assumed it was right.
It was along the lines of what you had described to me when you looked it up. I mean, how copy? How are you receiving this information?
Yep, that's exactly what I had said.
Yeah,
and that's the definition.
Yeah, I just, that was very clear to me, and that's not something that you traditionally use in quote unquote normal conversation, whatever that means. But just day to day, I think your day to day typical conversation, you wouldn't use that. And I mean, and that's true for many industries. In the engineering world, architectural world, we have so many acronyms. Caltrans loves their acronyms. And if you're not familiar with Caltrans, it's California Transportation.
Mm-hmm. I think all state and federal agencies love acronyms.
Oh, yes. Yes. It's easier when you're referring to, if you can hear the little whines and gulps in the background. We have our dog in here with us and she's sleeping at my feet. So you might be picking up on her little dreaming scenario. We love her. And that's why she's in here with us. Anyway, so we were talking about going back. Sorry, lost track. I heard her, and I just took us down a different path, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
So we had, what were we talking about? What was I saying? Idea. Oh my goodness, we're in trouble.
Podcast.
Does it mean that you can't help me keep on track?
I was following your lead.
I appreciate that.
I'm annoyed that you can hear Shelby barking in the background.
You shouldn't be. That's just real life. People have dogs.
And I'm a perfectionist, so let's carry on before I turn into an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, clearly. Anyway, we're almost at time.
We've got 7 minutes.
Yeah, we have 7 minutes, but we're almost at time. So we talked through, I can't remember where we left off. We were talking about McDonald's, and we talked about doing what you need to do, researching, applying for jobs. That's where we left. That's what we were talking about. And your ability to gain employment. And just knowing what the employer needs to fill a void. Mm-hmm. And then also applying that to problem solving.
Right.
Is where we left off. That's what it was.
Fill a void, be humble, work hard.
That's right. And I think you've also mentioned stay hungry.
Well, yeah. So that's like level 4, right? Like stay hungry, meaning go out there, get your shit job that brings in an income.
Right.
And then keep looking for better employment.
Right.
Stay hungry. Keep trying to advance yourself.
Yeah. I think when you say shit job, do you mean
something you don't like?
Something that you don't want to do.
Something you don't like.
Yeah.
I'm not identifying any industry. It is a job that you do not like. Therefore, It is a shit job.
What are some jobs you don't like?
I really hate, I don't know. But I would never do house cleaning.
Yeah.
Never.
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 So you never ever apply for
Nope.
for a house cleaning position?
Nope.
Even if you were...
I made the mistake doing that with like doing door-to-door sales stuff.
Yeah, that's a very difficult industry.
I fucking hate door-to-door salesmen, but
Yeah.
they'll pay me $10 an hour to go knock on doors. I can tell you right now, they're paying me $10 an hour to go walk around and be super unhappy.
That's
Because I will not pressure sale a single fucking person. I will knock on your door. You don't answer. I won't even knock hard.
right.
Like, look, I don't want to bother you. I'm not this person. I'm not a vulture. Fuck this company. Like, it's a shit job, but it's a paycheck.
It's true.
So you look for other jobs while you're working it.
Yeah. And you be the best door knocker salesperson that you can.
If you want to.
If you want it.
Look, there's going to be, I'll say this, be the best worker you can be, but also know when you need to be the very bare minimum.
It's true. It's very true.
Shit jobs, be the bare minimum.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get somewhere, be the best.
It's so true.
I mean, it's just honest. It's just real.
Yeah.
And if you're happy with what you are, then just chill.
Yeah. I think the stay hungry could also apply to continuing your education and learning.
Oh, of course.
So not only staying hungry in your profession, or staying hungry in your profession is not ever being content with the current knowledge that you have. Expanding on that, researching it, finding the voids, and finding solutions to voids, to challenges.
And I like to add, not education. Education doesn't always mean go to college, go to a school.
Right.
It just means read some literature, watch some videos, look at subject matter experts, do your research, look at the analytics behind everything on social media is based analytically. So if you're going to use social media to be your source of knowledge, your encyclopedia per se, then look at who the content's created by, how many views, what's the ratings on it. Go read some comments. Who is this person? Because the education is out there for everyone, you have to do your due diligence to make sure that you are finding the best professor on a social media platform. So find your best professor, study them, mirror them, and go from there.
Right. You often use that with subject matter experts a lot. And you've even mentioned it to your current employer that
We are the subject matter experts. Fact.
Okay.
No, that was just a staple for the company.
Yes.
It was me being proud.
I appreciate your
pride. You don't need
pride.
to roll your eyes and have a temper tantrum.
I'm not having a temper tantrum. What I'm saying is that you've often mentioned someone else's floor is your ceiling, meaning that you will not only emulate them, you will also surpass them.
Absolutely.
But the only way to really do that is to educate yourself. And so I would, in your list of things that you mentioned that you can educate yourself, you can also listen to podcasts like the Don't Say Can't podcast. Whoop, whoop. Stay humble, stay hungry, go get that job. See y'all later.